Hi, I'm David McKinney. I've been coming to Crossroads for about 6 months, and those 6 months has really been a season of healing for me. God's been doing some great things in my life. I've had a lot of medical issues, but I have recovered to a degree that the doctors haven't seen. And I know that it's God working miracles in my life, and it's really been a season of healing for me, honestly, since I joined Crossroads, but since we've been coming, it's been great.
Yeah, I'm Heather McKinney, same 6 months with my husband Dave. We've seen miracles, absolutely, for sure. God's been working big time in our lives. Even through hard times, it's easy to see that He's there, and just those little moments make a big difference, and it's been an awesome 6 months. So my friend Kobe, I met him several years ago. We worked together. He invited us to his life group. Said, yeah, this sounds great to be able to do a Bible study every week, and that's something that we wanted to do. And we joined his life group, and we were just curious about Crossroads and started coming to Crossroads, and we just felt right at home. I always knew God was there, but I mean, honestly, I never had a relationship with Him until recently. And I mean, coming to Crossroads and coming through that life group, I just see Him every day, and the relationship is there and it's strong. Dave's a truck driver. I was working in the office where he worked, and he called me, which I thought was weird because I'm like, well, he doesn't call me. He's like, I have a really bad headache. And he thought he was having a migraine. Here he was having the stroke. He kind of started slurring a little bit, and I was like, well, pull over. I said, take a breather, we'll see. And all of a sudden, it was like I couldn't get a hold of him again. I was checking up on him to see how he was, and it was no matter what I did, he picked up one time, and then it was very distorted, very, very strange, and I was like, something's wrong. This isn't Dave. So we were trying to get a hold of him. Finally, I know God did this. He actually sent me his GPS coordinates through a text message. So, they got him to the hospital via ambulance, and sure enough, he had a stroke. They found him on the floor of the truck. So I get to the hospital, and I'm thinking, I'm gonna get to see him. And next thing you know, the surgeon comes in and is prepping me. I needed to sign this. He has to have brain surgery right now, which put me on the floor. I was like, what? So, my first instinct was, okay, let's do what we have to do to get him better, and just got down on my knees and started praying. And I don't think I stopped praying through the whole surgery. I'm one to panic very easily. I'm one to worry about the little things. So when this happened, for some reason, once I started praying, I just had an overwhelming sense of calmness and knowing he was going to be okay. Next thing you know, he was out of the surgery. And they were explaining a few things, he wasn't going to be able to walk. He wasn't going to be able to eat by himself or do anything by himself. I actually had to feed him. I actually had to just do everything. We were in the ICU for 9 days, and but when he started coming to, the first thing he did was he sat straight up and said, I'm supposed to get dunked. Because we were actually signed up for baptism.
Yeah, we had started coming to Crossroads late April, early May, and that's when they were doing, as soon as I heard about the baptisms on June 30th, I just remember, I have to sign up for that. And the first day you could sign up, I did sign up. I was so excited for it. And then the Wednesday before the Sunday of the baptisms is when I had my stroke. And it's funny how God works like that, because like you said, I figured out somehow it was Sunday. I have to get dunked, and I realized, that was one of the very first things I remember after the stroke. And the healing that has taken place is just miraculous. There's no other word for it, and it's God's hand. And all the doctors look at me and they say, I can't believe it's been 100 days. You're back to normal. This is unprecedented.
It was a little scary, a little rocky, both of us being off work for a while. I was expecting to have a bunch of late fees start piling up. That never happened. And we were back to work. Dave was back to work within 3 weeks of his stroke.
With the tithing and with everything else, it's still, it hasn't been as difficult as I thought it was going to be. At first, I was very concerned. For anyone on the fence, when I first started coming here, I was a little bit on the fence myself, and that was awesome. I'm so glad that I am able to tithe and to give, especially with Magnify, and it's just, it comes back, and you're trusting God, and you're showing God, I trust you.
When you just let things go and give it to God, it's going to be taken care of.
Exactly.
And you just have to believe it with your full heart, because it is. I mean, like, we're living examples of that. I mean, I went from, I mean, like, the old Heather would have panicked and, like, we would have been homeless in my mind. But, like, the me now, I mean, that has that better relationship with Jesus is just a lot more collected and willing to give things to Jesus. And I just know that I want his will to be done and not mine. And it'll just, what's meant to be will be.